we're back, and now we're going to talk about absolute value and simplify when you have expressions with absolute value. So, to recap, absolute value is just a fancy name for how far away is that number from 0. So, for example, if I said, how far away is negative 12 from 0, and I plotted it on a number line, here's negative 12, you would tell me, hey, it's 12 away from 0. That's the distance. These bracket type things, lines, these mean absolute value. So if you see a number inside these blocks, barricades, whatever you want to look at them as, that means take the absolute value of negative 12. Or in other words, how far is negative 12 from 0? It is 12 away, it's distance. So if I live 12 miles away from school in the north direction, I'm 12 miles away. If I go 12 miles away from school in the south direction, I wouldn't say I'm going negative 12 miles away. So absolute value is always positive. So 5, if I put 5 on the number line, how far away is 5 from 0? It is 5 away. Absolute value of 5 is 5. They also work like P or G in your PEMDAS, your order of operations. So once I have one number inside my absolute value, I can essentially take the absolute value bars go away. So I'm going to keep this up here. Let's put it in a little cloud, and let's do some problems. Okay, so first problem we have is 6 minus 14 minus... Okay, so the first thing to notice, they're not parentheses, they're straight, they're absolute value bars. I can see that there's a set on the outside, and I can also see that there are two sets, and I'll make them nice and dark, on the inside. Okay, just like we did in the last video when we talked about, keep saying absolute value, when we were talking about order of operations, we talked about parentheses or grouping, and we said that it's like the Oreo cookie. You have to deal with the cream first, and you're not done with P or G until you have one number left on the inside. So these outside absolute value bars, we're not going to do anything with them first. Okay? I gotta keep them. They're like the cookies. I can't touch them yet. What I can do, is deal with what's on the inside. And the only absolute value that I can touch right now is this guy right here, because there's one number inside the absolute value. So if you have one number on the inside of your absolute value, you can take it. The absolute value of 4 is 4. Over here, I can't do it yet. What I have to do first is simplify this, just like I would with regular parentheses. Okay, so I'm going to keep my absolute value bars. 6 minus 14 is negative 8. I'm going to keep rewriting everything we haven't used. Now I can do this. I can say the absolute value of negative 8 is 8. Okay, bring down everything we didn't use. Okay, I'm going to bring down my absolute value bars. 8 minus 4 is 4. Yes, that's true. Absolute value is positive, but to make a final answer, absolute value of 4, I apologize for my arrow, is just 4. So make sure you don't get rid of your absolute value bars too prematurely. Make sure you recognize they're not just parentheses. They do act like parentheses in our PEMDAS order of operations, in the fact that I can't move on to my other order of operations until there's just one number inside. I can't take the absolute value until there's only one number inside. They also work that I have to work on the inside absolute value before I can work on the outside ones, but make sure you're actually taking the absolute value also. All right, we're only going to do a couple more. Okay, so absolute value of 7 minus 11 minus 6. Okay, so the only one I can take right now is this guy. The absolute value of 7 is 7. Bring down my minus. I can't touch this one yet. I have to simplify it first. I have to have it be one number before I can move on. 11 minus 6 is 5. I'm going to bring everything down. 7 minus, even though the absolute value of 5, that's true, I could just find my answer this way. Let's be real professional pre-algebra or algebra students and say, you know what, the absolute value of 5 is 5, so 7 minus 5 is 2. Okay, so don't skip steps, actually write it out. We're going to do one last one. Okay, so we've got 6 minus 8 minus absolute value of negative 11. Okay, so I'm going to bring down everything we haven't used. We've got 6 minus 8 minus, and we can go ahead and take the absolute value of negative 11, which is 11. Okay, over here, I've got to simplify what's inside those absolute value bars. 6 minus 8 is negative 2. Bring down everything. Alright, now, because there's one number inside the absolute value bars, I can take it. The absolute value of negative 2 is 2. 2 minus 11. 2 minus 11 is negative 9. Okay, so again, just like we did with the order of operations expressions, make sure you're showing your work, bringing your lines down, every line being simpler than the next, boxing your final answer. So that's it for this video. In the next video, we are going to be talking about evaluating and substituting, and I hope that you join us for the next one.